All right, pedestrian dignity here, Jonathan Stalls. So, quick video. So this is a quick frame on thinking about human transportation, human belonging, human connection. So often the default around walking culture or investing in walking practice, walking behavior, pedestrian time, pedestrian infrastructure is the default to sidewalks, right? So here you've got sidewalks. They're a little bit detached, which means they're off from they're not directly on the street, right? So you've got pretty good sidewalks. They're fine. They're flat. You've got decent ramps. You've got crossing signals. You've got crosswalks that are visible. You've got directional ramps that are going. So, but when you look at this, so this is where land use as a term comes into play, because I want you to just scan this environment with me. I'm on 35th in Quebec in Denver, Colorado. So I just want you to scan it with me as awareness for where are pedestrians going? Where are they trying to, what are their practical trips? But also, what would make anyone want to walk, want to be connected to the outside realm, want to be connected to this fabric of human community and human, like the collective human story. Kids running around, families intermingling, people running into each other. So here you've got all these hotels, and all the time in this area you've got people darting across because the gaps between the streets are pretty big. So you've got a pedestrian behind me, you've got one right here who's just darting from the hotel because they don't have an extra 10 minutes to go down to the light in either direction. And so they're darting across, case in point, in the middle of the street, as the cars come, boom, boom, boom. This is a perfect example. But what this speaks to is how land is protected, how land is developed, how land is seen as people, as places for people, as people-centered. So we don't have any plazas. All we've got is parking lots, people for places where people drive in and drive out. And you've got this huge football field, multiple football fields of grass in between that does nothing for community. So you've got fountains spraying in the air, water being wasted, maintenance services being wasted mowing this shit. Like this is the sadness of what's so many ills in our time related to human connection, human belonging, human like how we relate to people who are different than we are, how we kind of create gray space in our life. So it's not just black and white thinking, who's in, who's out, who's right, who's wrong, but there's this bigger story of the human story. I mean, this is part of the great sadness when we think about built environment, places, like not just transportation and sidewalks, but actual places that are for the multi-dimensional thriving of people. That when an entire landscape with hotels and residential and commercial and all this stuff has been completely gutted and reoriented for car first, car only, car centered reality. I mean, this is all everyone in their isolated, separate, air-controlled box, maintaining their opinions, maintaining their positions, maintaining their postures, and for most cases, going to get out of the car, get into the store, buy something, get back in the car, go back home, isolation, consumer, ultimately just quietly but so deeply feeding a story of human separation. So, when we think about pedestrian dignity, human dignity, this is a big conversation for developers, for city officials, for people who are discerning how they engage their community and invest in changes. So Be aware of this as you move through your spaces. Be a part of the change. And do everything you can to not allow development like this in your space, to block development like this in your space. Peace.